Reserve time. Virtus.Pro's turn to ban.
Now we'll look at some of the carries banned out. Morphling gets taken out by Empire. G kind of lately has been playing over your Puck, your Storm Spirits, a lot of these kind of snowball-esque heroes. I mean, to me, Virtus.Pro, when they're doing well, it's because G's doing well controlling the tempo. When they're doing poorly, it's because G's being shut down. They've got good players in other roles. Asa, to me, is their most stable player, but G is kind of the guy who decides their fate a lot of these games. And he's going to go on the Puck, it looks like.
Dire team pick.
Hey, do we have audio, by the way, Brian? Okay. Just double checking.
I looked over when we started talking. I couldn't quite tell. I had like a suspicion, but it's okay.
Apoptosis might also be a bit sleep deprived.
You don't need to apologize.
Yeah, that's loser talk.
He's leaning on the job.
But that's fair. And I like this from VP. They'll ban out the Spirit and the Life Stealer.
Yeah.
Just go-to heroes for Empire. I mean, especially the Storm for me. So
yes.
Well, Empire move into the second stage of the draft now. But what do you think's left for them that jumps out for you?
They want to go that kind of the Rock's Kiss Dazzle StarLadder. It's available to them.
Reserve time.
But Silent's been playing more like actual carries. They play Spectre every now and then. Oh, they go StarLadder. Okay.
Virtus.Pro's turn
Dazzle
to
StarLadder is such a great combo. These two together have such a high rate. Rock's Kiss was something like 8-0 with these two heroes at one point. Empire obviously getting a lot of influence from their CIS brothers. With the StarLadder as well.
Yeah, just semi-face rush lineup already. You've got your Shallow Grave to dive deep, minus armor combo, great initiation. Not a ton of late game yet, but that's where they can even go into, I mean, something potentially like a Shadow Fiend solo mid is their primary damage dealer. Matches up okay against Puck.
5 seconds remaining.
And especially synergize well with the StarLadder and Dazzle. So
yeah.
Empire's still pretty open-ended in how they continue with this draft.
And they cover their bases a bit with the Ember Spirit ban as well, so they don't want to get caught by surprise by any shenanigans. If a late or even just a third, fourth pick Ember Spirit could catch them a bit by surprise. But yeah, a lot of minus armor to start things off, and that's something which VP, they haven't got heroes that get too crippled by it. I mean, Nature's Prophet can kind of just stay away fights. Puck, pretty elusive as well. So at the moment, sure, Empire have all this minus armor and a lot of physical damage, but it's not something which directly counters any of the VP heroes. I don't imagine VP are going to pick up some kind of tanky frontliner who gets destroyed by this minus armor.
Well, somebody's got to be in the front line, because if you don't have someone in the front line, their Bat and StarLadder will be in your back lines, just tearing you a new one. So, they may not pick, like you're saying, a tanky frontliner, but they need someone else to go at the Puck to allow them to take the team fights. Lycan, a common choice for that, but he's banned out. They actually banned the Lifesteal themselves.
They can just get like a Sand King support and then have like a Mirana farming though. That's to me like is a solid draft all around, and not one that really cares about the minus armor. Like none of those heroes just like they're all like Mirana. You've got Leap, Puck has his escape abilities, Nature's Prophet just teeping around the map, not actually coming to fights until the end. And then Sand King's kind of your good counter initiator for the Bat Rider, as well as just gives them some more lockdown. Which
I like Sand King here. I think Sand King's pretty good. Empire. I mean, they've already got the AA to help zone out the Bat Rider as well, so that's an important component to consider. But
they definitely want a stunner with the StarLadder running in, because right now Puck, you can Waning Rift, you can maybe Dream Coil, but you have no actual counter stun, which is your Sand King, your Vengeful Spirit.
And they have nothing to deal with BKBs either.
Yeah,
and Empire still quite likely. I feel they could go for whether it's an SF, maybe it's a Templar Assassin, something like that. TA can take care of the Puck mid and synergize as well with the minus armor. VP go Venge here, so they get a stunner, but
a bit more aggressive than the Sand King though. Like early on, you can do a lot more with a Venge plus AA as far as roaming around.
It's better for killing Bat Rider as well, because that's actually a stun you can count on hitting, whereas the Sand King stun, unless he gets boots first, not the best range.
Yeah, that's a good point. Empire now, we'll see what they want to do with their draft. They may be thinking, where do we send the Bat Rider? Bat Rider versus Puck, what do you think about the mid matchup there?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, it seems like it can go either way. If you know the Bat's going to be in your lane, you get the early magic stick. Goes pretty well. The one area where we see Puck players lose the lane is if they orb, and then they get Flame Break back into Firefly, and they don't have orb to escape. So, using your orb carefully to farm, and having good reactions if they do throw out a Flame Break, but do you think Bat will actually go mid? Because I could see him Bat just going off lane this time.
I think, yeah, this is more likely off lane. Or if I have the option to either way. But I think it's better suited to the off lane this game. Empire probably just want to get another range support they can have one support zoning out the lane, they can have another support stacking the juggle for the Batrider to catch up on lately, especially good range supports on the diagonal can stack the big camp as well as the medium camp at the same time. So that's where Empire, I feel like, just getting a good range support to do some jungle stacks. Let Batrider catch up later on if he's going to get zoned out. And against a Vengeful Spirit plus AA, very likely this Bat gets zoned out.
4th pick for Empire now. I'm still feeling... I mean, they've been pretty versatile in their carries. I even saw them running Gyro not too long ago. Like, maybe it was a week or two ago, which is not a popular carry at all right now. So, you know, it's just hard to say with Empire. This is a team that we know likes to fight. That's the one thing. Silent sometimes goes for a fairly early Midas, but as a whole, the team's playstyle is very up-tempo, very aggressive, and they'll honor that now with a Mirana pick. So it gives them even more initiation, a very mobile squad. 3 heroes that can just move freely in and out of fights, and VP, I still feel not really the best lockdown. You've got your Coil and your Magic Missile. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like they need some core hero with additional stuns. I mean, the StarLadder type hero, but obviously StarLadder's been taken by Team Empire, so... And
it seems like maybe they need some damage as well.
I want to see them bring out the Wraith King. They played Wraith King a couple of times, and maybe we see Turner come back here. That's the kind of hero which I feel can round off their draft kind of nicely here, and suits Illidan's playstyle a bit.
10 seconds.
He did play an anti-mage game the other day, but this does not feel like a good anti-mage game.
Anti-mage
game is won or lost before AM comes online when you're up against StarLadder, Mirana, and Bet.
That's not fun. I like the Mirana pick probably for the mid lane. There's your Wraith King.
Oh, God. Calling it.
I've seen these guys play. They're big on a Wraith King. I don't know.
Well,
they're coming in.
Well, Empire not having the Wraith King's best friend, which is Doom. Useless.
Yeah.
Useless versus the King. No Doom this game. Empire now. They'll go Bane, so that'll be their support to set up the Mirana Arrow, and Empire just like a classic draft.
This is Empire play this very standard. Bat goes to the off lane. You've got your StarLadder safe lane with the support. Bane will maybe help a mid early on, and Bane will go in between the jungle stacking as well as helping out mid. So I expect to see a lot of jungle stacking to help Mag catch up later on in the game. For VP, the VSAA, this is a pretty versatile combo as far as they can roam anywhere on the map. For Empire, it's VP to predict where their heroes are going to be at any point in the early game, but these two supports can gank almost any lane they want to.
Wow, with that being said, Empire just need to keep on winning. Right now, if they win out, they are going to Kiev. They might even be the first seed out of Europe. I think the way the seeding's going to work, you want to be either, I think it's first or second, and then are you in the easier group? Is how they said?
I can't remember which is the easier group. The easier group's one with the Korean team.
Yes.
I think that's the number 2 Europe seed who goes in the Korea group.
Really? It's obviously 2 teams going there. Is
the
it
number 1
4,
China team goes to the Korea group, because I remember that was the issue with the Chinese seeding, who gets 1 and 2. The number 1 China teams goes to the Korea group, and I think the number 2 Europe team. So 2 and 4 in Europe, as well as...
So maybe you don't want to win Europe then?
Yeah, maybe you don't. Second, you go into the
way that I look at it, like, yeah, DK...
Well, you get DK, yeah.
DK, but it's not like IG's a much easier opponent. I'd say they're pretty... You don't really want to be in a group with their team, but neither one's like a walkover free win.
Yeah, if it's ED or MVP Phoenix, well...
At end of the day, like, much loved MVP Phoenix, and I wish them all the best, but...
They could get stomped.
I would be very surprised if they actually win a game. But we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong. Who was it? It was back when they were StarTale actually did win against one of the weaker European teams.
That was like
EMS.
the random...
It was like the retry type of team.
It was the team from the Serbian team with Grazine and all those guys, I believe.
Okay. Well, with that being said, it is time now for our first of 4 matches of the day. You guys, you're watching StarLadder Europe, brought to you by Beyond the Summit, and we kick it off now with the 8-4 VP versus 10-1 Empire. Okay. On the Radiant side, we've got VP Jadam, well-known Russian streamer playing your Ancient Apparition, NS, your Vengeful Spirit. Met this guy at StarLadder Season 8. He is actually a very nice, very funny guy in person. Illidan will be playing your Wraith King. Solo mid, you've got G, always the key for this team, playing the puck. That does leave Arsart in the offlane as the prof. Nice to see a longtime support player getting his licks in here as more of a core role.
Yeah. He's been doing really well in the offlane too. Like, to me, he's been VP's best player throughout this. But their opponent today, a pretty tough one, is going to be Team Empire. We've got Always Wanna Fly playing the support Bane. We've got StarLadder in the hands of Silent. He's going to be farming at the top lane. In the mid lane is going to be Resolution on Mirana. We've got Vangscore playing the support Dazzle. And then finally, Mag going to be on the Batrider. Boots first for him. I imagine Vangscore are going to be heading back towards the mid/top lane, or even towards the jungle after this first minute, or after the first rune.
Yeah, it looks like this Dazzle just checking the rune and maybe goes mid to try and help out the Mirana a bit early on, but should be a fine matchup either way. In terms of the mid lane, Null Talisman already up for G, Resolution, early Wraithband, and the Puck will have a decent damage advantage early on, but that's where maybe the Dazzle comes in, just harasses for a wave or two, or Bane does with Enfeeble. Right now the Treant's being very annoying.
He's gonna feed some gold here. Shadow Wave gets the first one. Look. Second one as well. There's not. I guess Prophet just. We'll need to try and micro him a little bit, but Dazzle, two last hits.
Sleep at the wheel.
He couldn't really save them, but yeah, he could have maybe microed them a bit better.
Yeah, he could have at least made them work for the kills, though. It's like
it's too easy.
Yeah, they're just AFK.
They've got this nice little sneaky little cliffwood up the top lane. They could be able to use this
bottom lane
kills. But
bottom lane, Mag, he has taken early Firefly, but VP already sent 3 heroes. They forced it out. They'll wait for it to end, and if he sticks around with this down, he will fall.
Yeah, he's going to get back to his tower.
I still want... Did you see the game yesterday where Bulba took Napalm at level 1 against the Tri-Lane? I still don't know why he did
that. That was very bizarre.
But, I mean, we're not seeing it elsewhere, I guess.
No. So the Boots first plus Firefly basically makes it so you can survive against a Tri-Lane. Even a triple or double stun plus Chilling Touch Tri-Lane. Like, if they don't get a good, clean initiation on you, you can survive it.
Yeah, and when it's down, well, you gotta play ultra defensively. Keeping our eyes on Empire, they have not started stacking the jungle as of yet. They have done the double pull through, but the Prophet just happily leeching experience from the low ground, getting his levels up regardless. Bat, Mag, a little bit less in terms of the levels so far, but he'll just come over to the neutrals, start taking that experience relatively soon. Firefly is online, and so offlanes look to be fairly even in terms of trades, and I guess the question is, elsewhere on the map, does anyone have a clear edge?
I don't think either team has a clear edge. The Puck versus Mirana matchup at mid, pretty even here. I think this is one of the few matchups where sending Mirana mid actually does pretty well here. Puck, even with an Talisman, can struggle a bit against the Mirana, so should be a fairly even matchup though in general.
Yeah, Puck is a bit more damage, but Puck is not like a huge hitter mid lane either, and not the best at harassing Mirana out of the lane as well. So maybe he wins a bit in CS, but you still get your levels up.
And he goes to smoke at bottom river, and as well as John. Two supports. They smoked just after the 2-minute rune. Both Empire Bat as well as the Bane at top river were scouting it out, and they're going to look to wrap around, get a kill on Mag.
Oh, this is a good time. The wave's pushing
he'll run to the right. He's going to avoid the vent stun if he runs over to the trees, and he'll do just that.
Well, he's in the trees, and the Mag juking south, and Illidan just needed to relax, I feel. There's another stun. The Hellfire Blast
got rushed.
Meanwhile, mid, big dive from Always Wanna Fly. But that might still go down. No, he buys a TP scroll. He'll go for the TP out now, and the Venge took just a slow... She's just slow, I guess. Did not get in range in time. They tried. Christian was there, but...
Mag played that really well. He knew when Venge would have been in range for the stun, so he just baited out as long as possible, and really nice play.
Yeah, I think Illidan just gave it away a bit. He needed to just wait like a second or two longer. As soon as that stun comes out, the Bat's like, oh, uh-oh. You know, Wraith King doesn't... His stun is too mana intensive to just throw out for casual harassment.
Yeah.
40 already.
Bat is going to the jungle now, and unfortunately there's no stats wait for him with his two teammates, the two supports, just spending time harassing top lane. Always Wanna Fly, continuing to harass mid lane. He's really being a pest here to G, but he's still got 10 CS, they're on 13 CS and 8 dice.
Waiting now, just for some action, I suppose. Empire not finding their early kills, neither RVP, but both teams just striking out for the kills very early on.
Empire do not fit the mold of your typical CIS aggressive teams where they dive you under your tower. They prioritize killing rather than pushing and stuff. Empire play a fairly passive early game laning stage and focus more on the mid to late game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They definitely have a lot of kill potential though. If they see an opening, they will go for it. Always Wanna Fly tried to make a first blood attempt mid, but G just played it very defensively, hugged his tower, and only a level 2 Bane, so just didn't have the damage in the brain sap to get the kill.
Yeah. Mid doing pretty well now, and we do get the first nighttime, so 4-minute rune spawns at bottom, and it looks like NS will secure this one for the Puck, so this will help him out quite a bit, because he's getting close to that level 6, and the DD rune, he can be considering starting to find some kills.
Yeah, level 5. He almost has the coil. Early TP scroll on him could be devastating, and then you look at Empire supports.
Dazzle has
just
a TP
very
grave,
easy food for the puck if he catches them out.
Hassat, knowing the rotation's coming his way.
Dire's bottom
Spidey
tower
senses.
is under
No
attack.
vision of that either. Just sees the supports are not here and just figures out the rest with some good intuition.
He's leaving his treants unmicroed though. His treant micro has not been
Dire's bottom
that
tower is
impressive,
under
but
attack.
there we go. He sends him off now.
Well, he's just making sure you're paying
Radiant's
attention
top
as a
tower is
commentator.
under
That's all.
attack.
Testing me into that.
I'm not sure. We'll see. Is Vlad casting this game?
Oh, yeah, I saw him in the lobby. He was doing some all caps chat with me.
Gotcha.
Here comes a gank mid. And
There's a sleep available. Oh, phase shift. But now the sleep comes through as their top. Revolution, he'll let the arrow, but it's not very long range arrow. Orb is going down. I don't think they get this kill. In fact, this could be a turnaround. The orb is there. John's forward. G is going to live now. Phase shift. Whoa, so cool, yeah. They will get the first blood, but NS brings the fray. Is he going to stun Resolution? Yes, he will. Resolution has his ultimate. He won't get it off. Next on the list is Score. This is going to be 3. Dead Empire, potentially. Yeah, it will be 3. Thanks, Score. Trying to dive the tower. He's got a heal. He won't even bother to use it. Just goes down a chilling touch.
yikes!
Empire bite off way more than they can
It
chew.
was just Empire had the right idea there, though. They should have come out on top in the sense they just completely screwed up the execution on numerous fronts. They didn't hit the Starstorm. Puck, they shifted the first Starstorm hit, and then after that, Dazzle ran forward to try grave the Mirana and didn't get the grave off, then put himself in a position where he died. It was just mistake after mistake. They were like baiting each other into certain death.
Yep. It was a pretty short range arrow. Did not stun the puck for very long at all.
He should have just gone for the long range Starstorm. He got too greedy and went for the double Starstorm. And like if he knew the timing of the arrow stun, he would have known he couldn't actually hit the Starstorm.
Up top lane, there will be a rune picked up. Mag grabs the invis,
Dire's
denies
middle
it to the
tower
puck.
is under attack.
Pretty important to deny that as G is now hit level 6 and could look to find a kill with it. NS roaming in mid. There is a observer ward here, but I don't know if he's been spotted. Now out comes the puck ultimate. Obviously has not been spotted. Silence is there. And VP just descend on the middle lane in numbers. And look at push now. Arthur already level 6. He's almost got Midas.
Dire's
Empire
middle
gods,
tower
you
is
mentioned they
under
have not
attack.
been playing particularly well as of late. Not poorly, but they got 2-0'd by EG. Yesterday they lost to Cloud9 in the semifinals of D2CL, and early on to Empire, they are struggling.
Their hot win streak, where they were considered the best team in the West for, at least the team in the West who was playing the best, has ended. Like they're suddenly looking very beatable, and teams are finding ways to beat them on numerous occasions, and that's where VP, they're looking to pounce here. Empire, they are 10-1, but they could end, what, 10-5 if they don't have a good finish here, and they've still got to play some tough opponents.
Do they have to play Na'Vi Alliance, or?
They've already beaten Na'Vi, and Alliance they played as well. So they've actually beaten Na'Vi and Alliance.
They still have, do they have like teams like Cloud9 left, or?
I think they have Cloud9. No, maybe they
Dire's
have an easy.
bottom tower
Maybe
is
I'm just
under
bullshitting.
attack.
Maybe they have an easy end to the season.
Yeah, I mean, but teams like
I think
VP,
it's-
you wouldn't say that it's like a hard opponent, but it's not.
I think it seems like Rock's Kiss and Sigma,
You have
as well as
no
VP
right.
here.
Teams they could definitely
Dire's
lose to.
bottom tower
Yes.
is under
I
attack.
feel like VP is significantly better than either of those teams, but that being said, well, for now, VP, they work towards their treads on the puck. Midas is coming out for the Wraith King, actually already being delivered. Prophet also has his own Midas, so it's a double Midas for VP around the 8-minute mark. Very, very farm. I mean, basically, if they're not punished by Empire pretty soon, you look at Empire's draft, some of these heroes really scaled that well, so they're going to be in trouble.
I want to focus more on that mid game. They'll get the Vanguard up on their StarLadder, the Batrider Blink Dagger, and then they'll look to just fight. Take towers as 5. Hopefully have some decent items and levels on even their supports by that point. But for now, their support's still looking for just their level
Dire's
6s,
bottom
and that's
tower
something.
is under attack.
It's a small cause
Radiant's
for
top
concern. It's
tower
only
is
8
under
minutes in,
attack.
but they've still got to be pretty careful not to fall behind right now.
Yeah, Bane is close to grip, and the Batrider really close to blink for Meg, so had a slight bit of bad luck with these golems, but still been stacking 2 camps fairly efficiently otherwise, and with that Blink Dagger, and then with the StarLadder Vanguard, Empire can look to find some pickoffs.
Yep. Fire has Fnatic, Rocks, and Power Rangers left to play in StarLadder. Okay.
Fnatic just a team that can pick Tiny Wisp and win, you know, no matter what.
Fnatic have been in StarLadder doing really well. In general, they've done okay. They just won the Captain's Draft tournament, but in general, in StarLadder, we saw their last 2 games them get
Dire's
completely
structures are
stomped by
fortified.
Cloud9 and Sigma. So,
Radiant's middle tower
a
is
team
under
who
attack.
it can go either way though. You never really know.
Whenever
with
lately
Fnatic.
when I cast Fnatic, it's like, I just feel like their draft normally decide their games. If they
Oh,
get
clear.
their hero,
Radiant's
they
middle
win, and if they
tower
don't,
is under
it
attack.
often just falls apart.
I even got without a StarLadder, and it was their game mix. They Omni-Knight.
Dyer's
And it
bottom
was just
tower
the worst
is
thing
under
I've
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It was they lost so many games this draft.
Dyer's bottom tower
I'm
has
not sure that
fallen.
I want to believe, but he's just pretty ass right now. VP, the up is 4.
Trading top.
Radiant
Meanwhile, there's
structures
tower
are
defense being mounted.
fortified.
Level
Radiant's
6.
middle tower is under
Well, this could be a
attack.
very powerful defense. They wanted to but VP comes out.
Dyer's
The
bottom
back door, he's
tower
gonna
is
die.
under
Starts
attack.
way damages. Mace comes in. I think they can just face him down. They'll try for the VP. There's a stun. He won't get out. Alpha and Organize. They do fairly took their down a very expensive tower.
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
They did a ton of burst damage to that king with the amp damage plus Shadow Wave. There's man really a synergy between this StarLadder. That one Shadow Wave on Chris Gillidan down to like half HP for full. Fortunately, the back was there and they get power denied. But Mag now has this dagger also picked up. Let's go with it. So 10-minute dagger and kick off from the bat. Not in lane. On 6G.
And they have Fiend's Grip up a lot. He's actually come along. Oh gee. Only go out again. Damage. Oh, now she comes out. Our next resolution. Who jumps right into it? Is there a grave? It's cooling down resolution. Still alive. Dying well though.
Yeah.
His corpse shatters him. In the end, one. They do get the experience on the solo mid.
Dyer's middle tower.
Tower. It was
Dyer's
away from
middle
everyone.
tower
Yeah.
has
But he was like,
fallen.
it's to be in it'll me, but
Yeah.
not against the Ice Blast.
Empire now. Like loses tier 1 well. The
Dyer's
double
top
Midas
tower
are
is
starting
under attack.
to kick in already for VP. Gold lead up to nearly 2k. Experience they are trailing. Well, I don't want those. No fantasy points. I noticed the fantasy points really started working again lately.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was you casting. You accidentally went over to them. I was like, oh, it's fantasy points for some people.
Nobody's getting anything for these, but well, anyway.
Radiant's middle tower is under
too fast.
attack.
That yeah, 4.
Yeah, I think that won't be a surprise to anyone if it does come back.
No.
Smoke for resolution here. Along the rest of Empire, 3 heroes grouped up. They have Fiend Script, they have Moonlight Shadow, and they have a haste. Very good time to initiate. Meanwhile, VP on a smoking mission of their own.
Radiant's bottom tower
Doesn't
is
look like
under
they'll find
attack.
Illidan. He doesn't have reincarnation. Did find him at point to be a nice.
Ancient Aberration already
Haste.
booster. He's getting quite farmed.
I don't know, AA just
Radiant's
they follow
bottom
him. It
tower
looks like he's just
is
gonna
under
back off
attack.
How do you feel about this Vanguard first? Seems most teams prefer Big first.
on the StarLadder.
Yeah.
It's kind of suited my style where they just want to get up in your face, and it gives them a lot more. I think with the Dazzle, it's kind of a nice way to just because you can be so tanky and durable.
Radiant's
I think it's
middle
just like a
tower
perfect
is
thing. I
under
don't think there's
attack.
right. No wrong answer to that. They've got the Bat Rider with the initiation. That's where StarLadder feels like he needs Dagger.
As long as the bet's there. In that case, they would have killed the Prophet Legacy's thing.
I think if you blink, it's not working. Bang it up. You're not going to be.
Radiant's middle
Bang
tower.
up for the late stage reach. We're going to get the last one in lane. That's a Mag, but he's also the Mag and can flies way out of there. Meanwhile, Lucian taking a lot of damage. As has been Fiend Script up, he could nothing in Empire's favor. And Resolution is probably looking for some more.
They're just kiting them well in the periphery of this Resolution, not taking the cold feet. He even wants our side. He's going so deep for this one. Arrow ready. Is he going to go for it? He lets it fly back the other direction. Connects on Jada. Illidan could be next. He doesn't have his ultimate yet. The crush is in. And this should be Illidan down. Suddenly, 4 heroes fall. Empire just claw their way to a huge team fight victory. And do it without Night Score, who's just farming top. That was purely 4v5.
That's just good execution and good teamwork. That's where I think Empire excel. Like sometimes in laning stages they fall behind, but come mid game they find these crazy team fights, even when they're outnumbered, just by great decision making. And that's what we saw a bit of there.
Other thing is VP have 2 Midases, and they have not been online long enough to really kick in.
Yeah.
So they're sitting on about 4,000 gold that only gives them some attack speed. Does not help
Radiant's
them survive, does not help
bottom
them take
tower
team
is under
fights.
attack.
And this looks to be the death of Arsart. Being pursued out by Silent, sprints up, crushes there, and Arsart hits the deck. Suddenly, Empire are owning. I think they were trailing 6-3, now up 6-8. They took the tower, but they took a huge team fight victory, as we can see here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
What's that,
attack.
like a 3,500 No, 4,500 gold swing. VP actually lost gold.
My eyesight doesn't work till in the morning, Elder.
It's pretty rare.
I'll take your word for it.
With a team fight, it's actually very unusual to see a team straight up lose gold. Because normally someone's off farming, or they get a tower, they get some creeps during that time.
If you buy back's the only. It's only when you buy back.
Well, or if you just lose 5 heroes and give up a tower.
Yeah.
And I mean, they just lost a bunch of hero kill gold, and they didn't get any return gold during that time.
Right now is also that Empires get themselves the easiest Roshan ever. They've got a Medallion on Bane, they've got the Amp damage of StarLadder, they've got a Mirana who can just arrow Roshan as well. They can kill Roshan in less than 15 seconds if they get all 4 or 5 heroes there. And
well, this is, yeah, like you said, the Vanguard build looking quite good now as Silent already has his Blink after that one fight. Before that, he basically got Blink from one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He didn't have, maybe it's 300 gold, but that was about it.
Under attack.
Roshan gonna go down. VP gonna get a trade on the top tier 1 tower. That's about as they can. They probably know what's going on, but there's no way they can stop it.
They still have double Midas. I
Radiant's
think VP very scary late game. Empire not bad there, but I would give VP a slight edge, especially with the double Midases and the Venjara. Probably the stronger late game support in HF, at least as a damage dealer, but they got to get there. And right now Empire are just banging on the front door.
Yeah. VP's got their initiation now as well. Not just G, well, just Handle Dagger. Illidan got one though in the Wraith King, so he's going to be the one going into the fuck first. He's got the reincarnation, so he basically goes in, blink stuns, and asks to die, because if he dies, it's a 75% AoE slow onto Empire.
Yeah, it's a very good slow, and basically you don't move during that time, and that's just with him. Throw an Ice Vortex on top, throw any sort of follow-up done. They will tap the TP's arrow to G does not port into the arrow.
For a second I thought he was going to John that one.
No, now there's a blink front though. NS gets caught. The Rating gets left. They'll ignore him while they focus on the rest of the team Silent. The Cold team probably going to knock here. They're going to Illidan on his first fight. He does have the reincarnation. Jotum just being cleaned up on the backside. They lose their separation. Our start will be zoomed out effectively by Resolution. And now they lasso in G. Decent slow from Illidan, but Slarda's back here. No, just not enough. He's dropping low to Vanguard. Another stun comes out from the King, but it's just insufficient. Insufficient damage. Now he'll blink out right after the reincarn. Do they continue to pursue? Flamebreak cooling down. Illidan, oh, he looks dead here. Crush, amp damage, follow up, and just watch him burn. Empire take another team fight. Not hugely convincing, but they do take the win.
Not as convincing, but they don't even have to use their ages for that. They have a couple heroes get really low, but this Dazzle is just keeping people alive, soaking up so much attention. I like Vangscott almost always goes this double bracelet build. He just wants to get as many cheap, cost-effective stats as possible, and it works out really well. I like this build from Dazzle players.
Yeah. The level of aggression Empire have in the mid game, you don't generally get to farm big items. So just get something you can afford, get something that helps you keep alive, and stay near your cores to get the grave off in the fights. Speaking of Vangscore, he has gone for the max Shadow Wave first, so more of like I mean, sure it's a good heal, but I feel like it's almost more of an offensive skill choice here. It's a really strong initiating tool with a Slardar blink in, crush, heal bomb on top of them, and suddenly they're at like half HP with the amp damage as well.
Mags on the prowl now, flying over some trees towards the secret. He's got blink for stuff. Dying towards BKB as well, already has a move up. He is Axe, the Morphin heroes on that line. He's still behind his other teammate, but he's on par with the Nature's Prophet who's leading UP.
Well, how effective is Shadow Blade to be this game? There's a Bat Rider, there's a Mirana, there's a Blink Slaughter. This could end very uselessly for our side.
I imagine Mag will just pick up a gem very soon as well. If not pick it up himself, someone will buy it for him and hand it over to the Bat Rider, because he's the answer.
Yeah, maybe you give Silent some dust just in they're separated, and he can solo kill the Prophet. The back can solo kill the Prophet. Our side needs to play perfect keep away here.
For now, Matt is going to search around for any kills he can get. He's got no reincarnation. The last is going to come out here. The Fame as well. The Fiend's going to need to use. Looks like they will go for it, and they get another kill on Illidan. That level 1 reincarnation. Oh, actually, level 2. No, it's a level 1 cooldown, but a level 2 reincarnation now.
Yeah, he used it in the top fight.
Yeah,
and that was still level 1 at that point.
It had that 4+ minute cooldown, which is...
I don't really like the way his ult scales. I feel like it's kind of ridiculous at level 16, but it just takes way too long at level 6. Yeah. I mean, it's like 3-4 fights where you won't have reincarn if it's an active game.
I think even Ben or someone saying that as well. When you get to level 3, it's ridiculous, but at the same time, the hero itself is a melee carry that's not that good of a carry. So I feel like having a 60-second cooldown ulti is great, but his level 1 ulti needs some improvement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it needs to be like 100 seconds, but 260 is
at least like 200 maybe, even like 180.
That's 4 minutes plus. That's longer than Black Hole. I mean, come on. The ult's not that good.
No, it's really not. Especially in the early game, you just die a second time a lot of the time. I mean, any stage of the game.
It's just like a weird way to scale. I guess it's kind of like Finger of Death where it's insane at level 1 and...
I'd like to see at level 1, like, or at least in general, just cost less mana. Maybe cost less mana at level 1 and then goes up in mana cost. Like, it's like 60 mana or 100 mana, then 140 mana. Like, that's just little things help his early game out, so he has more mana for early game stuns.
They'll parade up the river here, and VP looking for some pickoffs. Under cover of smoke, Arsart safely tucked away at the base. They'll hunt towards the tree line, maybe drop an Ice Vortex. Scout things out. The smoke will dispel, though. Are they going to show anyone in the lane? It'll just be Illidan for now, and Empire. Oh, they're on a raiding party of their own, but they are coming in full numbers. 5 are here. They pop the Dazzle
has been denied.
And they start their pursuit, and VP might be caught in a disastrous position. They tower deny, looks like Arsart just got one. Was that the tier 2 mid?
Yeah, tier 2 mid.
Okay.
So I don't think that's a good thing for VP, even though they did not go. It's like, well, it's more towers going down.
More map control for this aggressive.
They're trapped in a corner here.
This looks like that. Silent comes in. That's a fun Illidan. Not DM damage. He will get them immediately. Chenault comes through, connects on Silent. He's low. Not dead yet. G, who's jumped in, did not get off his coil, did not get off the silence. Will be brought down immediately to start the fight. The resolution. Jada, he'll be next to fall to this wrath from Empire. They're just massacring VP. The Prophet comes in, but a timely raid from main score. They're just playing with their food. Arsart's it's a team one. Easy triple kill for resolution.
That level 1 reincarnation, such a long cooldown. It was like 3 or 4 second wait coming back up when the Wraith King died, but that ridiculous cooldown just completely screwed over VP. I mean, I think they were dead however you look at it, but it just made it that much harder to take the fight.
Another, I mean, you just, they actually lost net worth. I mean, again, like, you almost never see that. Like, normally they just gain less net worth.
Yeah.
But this is 2 team fights in a row where this is Empire just clobbered them. They put the boot to VP.
Yeah, Empire will use all the ultis in the world to make that one work, and well, that one, they don't really care. But if you win a team fight that handily and you have to use all your ultis for it, by all means, go ahead.
I feel like VP should have backed there. When they didn't find someone with the smoke gank, you show that Wraith King top, it's like... Either Empire think you have 5 there, in which case they're going to come because they feel they can beat you in 5v5 fights right now, or they think you just have Wraith King there, in which case they'll come and just kill the Wraith King. So, what's the point in staying?
They get team wiped, they're down 7 kills to 17, and we've got ourselves a 7.5k gold lead in Empire's favor, and
Invisibility.
That's a scary thought here, as they're just getting more and more items up. Silent's got a Mithril Hammer. We'll have to see if this is going to be a BKB or even go ultra greedy and just pick up a Deso. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Deso. Like, BKB is the more standard pickup, especially considering how much lockdown there is on the VP side. But
Resolution going for the solo kill here. Finds Arsart, and that's Arsart's dead. No, double star falls to
top river. Silent is a dream coming out in a couple of years here. They're going to lose the Venture Spirit to start things off. They want Jotun as well.
Buyback from the Pro. Will they re-engage? It's not a very effective buyback though. Buyback. Jeez. Freudian slip? I'm not even Freudian. Just a slip. I'm slipping, man.
That was... Yeah, a very silly buyback.
Resolution goes Maelstrom. It's okay, but yeah. I feel like when you've got all this minus armor, you're better off just going straight Deso. Well, it does put the split in the prison.
Prophet now rotate towards his bottom lane. It looks like there's a hunting squad headed his way. Have they got no gem just yet? So I haven't actually got that extra detection.
Arrow. Let loose, and it just nails Arsart. Do they have to know?
Yeah.
They have detection. Then he comes down, drops his.
Nothing to stop there. Unfortunate.
They should get a gem max.
I mean, buy it now.
I'm actually surprised they already have one, but
they just bought it. We'll see who picks it up. Whether it be like, I don't think the Bane wants to carry. When you give it to one of your mobile core heroes, the StarLadder, Mirana's okay, but Bat is the optimal choice.
Yeah, the one thing I like about giving it to StarLadder is he's actually faster than Bat in the fights. Like, he's faster at running on the Prophet with sprint.
Yeah.
And he's got a blink as well, so Cliff should not be a problem. But yeah, either the Bat or the StarLadder are a strong choice.
Speaking of Bat Rider, just 30-ish gold away from a BKB. That's scary amount of farm.
He's farmed. All their cores are quite farmed.
StarLadder's just 350, so they're going to have double BKB in the middle.
It's VP, you've got Midas's, that's great, but Empire showing they know how to punish Midas Gaming. Silent.
StarLadder
Shows himself in the tree, so blink to the north, and now TP. After they get the coil off, HF don't let loose, but the coil was too late, G. Overthought it, just hesitated, and then dropped it late.
Yeah, he waited till he had the vision from the A ulti, and it was too late by then. So, Empire are going to get the next Roshan, then they're going to probably have their BKBs, then they look to push. They're going to have double BKBs, Aegis on their side, and just a ton of damage output as well. We're just helped out by the Dazzle Weave.
VP, are they close to any big items is my question. Ancient Apparition, looks like he's nowhere near his Aghanim Scepter. Just has the point. He had this really early point. And there's been nothing since then.
I don't think VP...
Oh, they see Arsart. Oh, Arsart. Looking for an arrow here across the tree line, and it will connect once again. Easy kills. Just Empire are just relentless. If you let them get this kind of a foothold where they're on the offensive, they will drop the wards all over your jungle. You will not be allowed to rat it up.
This isn't just a Maelstrom, he's suddenly got a completed Mjolnir. There's a nice little stun dodge there coming out from Silent. They're going to look to engage with an arrow off the market, but here comes your next TP, and it's going to be the Bat Rider.
They're going to go first on the Wraith King, and here comes the Flame Break, swap on into NS, who just take the tower down before he falls, and there's no! Denied even that. Even this opportunity denied to him. Now got him. He'll fall here as well. Can Illidan peek out? He'll be slept. They'll deal with it next. Arrows left loose, and Empire just obliterating VP. They'll deal with the Wraith King once. Then they'll deal with him again. Quite happily. The puck comes in, but it just won't matter. Too much physical damage. G will be next. Another team wipe, and Empire down VP submission. And this game at 26 minutes with an absolutely overwhelming lead.
Yeah, that's more like the Empire we're used to seeing after shaky games lately. EG losing to Cloud9. They get the job done and get it done in convincing fashion against Virtus.Pro. So I like that. It's definitely not a team on the level of EG or Cloud9, but it's a win they need to get. A couple more of these and they're on their way to the finals.
Well,